run somebody over.
Yeah, here's when I pulled into Fish Creek Pass.
Oh gosh. Oh my.
That's Fish Creek Pass.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally less than 20 foot wide.
Yeah. I ran the reef one day. It was like almost like that. Almost on.
So are we pre-gaming?
Not quite yet.
You could just let everyone know what happened.
All right, yeah. Oh.
Hey, what?
Oh.
Are we on?
I guess we're on.
Yes, technical difficulties have been resolved.
So we had a little too much pregame involved in this episode so far. We do apologize. We apparently started off on the wrong page.
Yep.
So apparently we're back on the right page.
Deja vu. Look at this. We're going to do it again. Yeah.
So we're still here pre-gaming. If you guys would like, share, follow. Got a good episode coming up this evening. We're just making sure everybody is checked in, including ourselves.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely. We're going to talk about something a little bit different today, huh?
Yeah, the Hydrilla Gorillas. Woo-hee. I like that name.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, I guess it is if you Google it.
10 pounds plus.
Yeah, nice, nice. Well, we'll be talking about some freshwater stuff today. That's going to be a little bit different.
Little change of pace. I kind of like it.
Yep.
Yeah, we got some cool special guests coming on this evening. A couple little whereabouts that you might want to know about. Something to go do on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Got some new baits we got to try out. I personally did not, but our special guest did these past couple of days and apparently landed a few ditch pickles.
Mm-hmm. Freshwater baits.
Yeah.
Something a little bit different. And like we said, don't forget to follow, or don't forget to share this episode so you can win something cool at the end, maybe. I don't know.
It's always a chance.
Yeah, chance to win. So we'll see. But yeah, we had nice weather this weekend too, or this whole week, this entire week. Other than a little bit of wind, I mean, it was great.
Absolutely.
It definitely got hot.
Yeah, yeah. Showers that we got were much needed, and then a few days after that, it was pure sweat.
Yeah, it was a scorcher, but it's not. We're not complaining about the cold weather anymore. So
no,
that's all.
Not to completely whine about something else.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have it 100 than 30. That's for sure.
Says the skinny guy.
Mm-hmm. But either way.
Hopefully you all made it out this week, do a little bit of fishing. Please, if you have the time, or I don't know if we're still accepting them, but send in those Catch of the Week photos. Always look forward to seeing that every Tuesday.
You always want to submit them every week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See your pretty little face on TV, or on Facebook at least, and YouTube.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. All right. So I think we are going to get the show on the road. We'll be right back.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Can you hit full screen, Bree?
There it is.
Welcome to
Fish Talk Live.
Presented by Ozella Keys Marina and Power Pole.
Yes. Total boat control.
Total boat control. It controls everything. The total boat.
Except for it doesn't drive.
Soon enough. Coming soon.
I would imagine.
Coming soon to a Power Pole near you.
Yeah, there it is.
Alrighty, everyone. So we've got, in my opinion, the biggest episode to date. Freshwater fishing. It's my one of my favorite subjects because I know Jack poop about it.
Jack poop.
I don't think any of us know anything about it. That's why we're bringing in the experts tonight. Captain G. Miller's in studio talking about the ins and outs of freshwater fishing for all the different species, all 3 species in the freshwater that you can catch.
I think there's more than 3, but...
Perch? Is that a thing? Is that a fish? Perch?
Yeah.
Largemouth?
Speck, bluegill,
What's a speck?
a speck, crappie.
Crappie.
Yeah.
Bluegill.
There's mudfish.
Catfish.
Oh, there's more than 3.
Oh, gar.
Oh, yeah.
Mudfish. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Alligator.
Take the bigger lure.
So that's what we're talking about. We also have some other special guests tonight that we're going to be bringing on the camera here soon that we're super excited to talk to about their products and the different camps that they have.
Oh, yeah.
We were doing a little investigating right before this.
Looks like a good time.
It looks a little. We're going to have to make a field trip here soon. So.
Hey, Billy, what are you doing down there with your hand?
So I am itching my best friend, the largemouth Edith. If anybody wants to see it. Oh, God. It's a horse.
She's gotten a little bit bigger since the last time we picked her up over here.
And Dale says there's such thing as a red-breasted stump knocker.
Yes.
Interesting. Red-breaded?
Warmouth, too.
Red-breasted.
Yeah.
I feel like these are all different names for a brim.
Technically speaking.
You know, is there a difference between brim and bluegill?
I think we call those panfish.
Yeah, they're all panfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they the same species or? Not, Jane, we're just going to save these questions for later. These technical freshwater
We
fish.
are interested.
Very interested. All right, Billy, before we go into all this, I know you don't see any freshwater on the airboat, but go ahead and give us an updated airboat fishing report.
Absolutely stunningly beautiful out there this past week. Getting out there playing. Today happened to be my absolute best day for visibility on the airboat. It was nice and calm out there this morning. Hopefully you all made it out there for that. Playing out there, there is a decent amount of redfish moving out on the outer islands, still playing through the mouths of the rivers. A few of them that are quite a bit overslot. Always a gorgeous sight to see. Happened to come across a school of probably 100 or so massive blue runners today. That was interesting. Wasn't expecting that. It was a whole wall of them.
Blue runners?
Or, yeah, bluefish, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, big ones.
Wow.
Probably 25, 35 inches. Big.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool to get to see. Found those right in between Bird Key and Pelican today on the incoming tide. Still finding good handfuls of tarpons. Today found some really good sized ones out there. That was pretty darn fun. Still looking for those triple tail, but haven't found those yet.
Haven't seen them yet. Jacob had to go and talk about them. Now they're not showing up.
That's what happens. As soon as you bring up their name, they don't want to be there.
What about larger species of shark? Have you started seeing those in numbers or here and there?
Not in any big numbers, but yes, there are some decent amount of big sharks out there. I found one tiger 2 weeks ago that was maybe only about 4 or 5 feet. Today we found 2 lemons that were on about 4 to 6. Decent amount of sharks, but I'm happy to see them starting to come in. It's waters are warming up just like everything else, and sea turtles, sharks, stingrays, all the above are coming in to start playing.
Nice.
It's always enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Makes my job easy.
I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure. I know because I do the same job. It's always fun when you see stuff. All right. So good report, Billy. Thank you very much. What about seagrass? Have you started seeing influxes of the
lots of grass starting to float. Is that
Okay.
what you're speaking of?
Yes.
Yeah, grass beds are definitely on their shedding side of life. And with that, you're going to start to find a lot of your bait and stuff playing underneath the shades of that. I'm excited to start to see it become bigger mats, something 20 foot in length by 10 foot wide. When you find those big matted grass beds like that at the surface, there's quite a bit of life that'll play underneath of those, and that's what I'm excited to truly get to see.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is an old timer told me just a couple days ago that when we start seeing those big mats come in, that's when those saltwater tilapia will be underneath of them.
How about it?
Makes sense, because we really haven't seen the big mats.
Not yet. Today, I'm finding 2 to 3 foot strands of them, but nothing big matted yet.
I guess they'll follow them in.
I could believe that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Shade and structure.
All right, so before we get on with our special guest tonight talking about her incredible freshwater retreat, please follow, share, follow, like,
Yeah, and then share.
and then share, and then
No hair?
no hair. Ozella Keys Marina in this live Facebook feed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest, Captain Bryn from Highland Park Fish Camp.
Wait till you see her place.
Yeah, the background.
Oh, golly.
Yeah, I'm really
Sportsman's
excited about
paradise.
this. So, Captain Bryn, you out there?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Doing real good.
Admiring all those grouper that you have on the wall behind you. Is that what those are? So, Captain Bryn, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're calling in from. Tell us about your retreat, and just tell us about everything you got going on over there.
Yeah, so I'm at Highland Park Fish Camp in Deland, Florida. This is a family business. My granddad bought it in 1962.
That's cool.
So I'm the third generation to own and operate it, and this is our 62nd year in business this year.
Wow.
Congrats on that.
Yes,
That's cool.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're sitting on the backwaters of the St. Johns River. We are on a tributary connecting to St. John's, and we're surrounded by a 20,000-acre wildlife refuge. So we're locked into wilderness here.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful.
Too cool. And some of those bass that are hanging on those plaques behind you, were those caught on camp there by chance?
Yeah, absolutely. We're the closest access to Lake Woodruff. It's 3.5 miles away by water. It's a 2,800-acre lake. It's completely surrounded by a wildlife refuge. So our camp record here for biggest bass caught is 15 pounds, 4 ounces.
Wow.
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 That's almost a grouper. Like, holy smokes.
Was it caught on a Boogerman lure by chance?
No, unfortunately, it was caught on a wild shiner, and it was caught in 1977, but it still holds the record.
That is awesome, though.
That's
15 pounds.
So besides what sounds to be absolutely incredible largemouth bass fishing, what are the type of activities you all offer there?
Well, we also have an excellent, we call them specs, because
I've heard that term just recently.
Yeah, but we call them speckled perch or crappie, and we have an excellent season for that in the wintertime. But here at our camp, we have a small campground, we have cabins, we rent boats, we have guided fishing trips. We're Coast Guard licensed captains. You can bring your own boat. We have wet and dry storage, and we sell bait and tackle.
Too cool.
Nice.
What type of lodging do you offer there?
We have 8 cabins. We have 1-bedroom cabins and 2-bedroom cabins. We also have campsites. If you have your own camper, you can bring your camper in. And what's great about us is we're about 10 minutes away from downtown Deland. So you're out in the wilderness, and it's quiet, but if you want to go have like a good dinner, we're close to town.
Too cool. And how far, so excuse my ignorance, but we really don't leave Ozello too often. How far would you be from the coast? So like, let's say somebody wanted to come do a stay and play and do some freshwater fishing, and then, you know, head over to the coast to do some saltwater fishing. So how far are you from the coast?
Yeah, we're 30 minutes from Daytona Beach.
Oh, wow.
And we're north of Orlando. So if you fly into Orlando or if you're over at the beach, we're 30 minutes away.
That's awesome. It sounds like a good chunk of true old Florida right in town.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Do you offer any type of, or you or any other organizations there do any freshwater tournaments on that lake that you're speaking of? And is there any coming up?
Yeah, there is a giant speckled perch tournament coming up in February. It's called the Berkeley LeBaugh Memorial Tournament. Right now, it's the biggest spec tournament in Central Florida.
Nice.
We've got a Facebook page. It's a big payout. People come from all over to fish it.
Nice.
What type of bait do you use for speckled perch? Just
Grass shrimp.
the crash shrimp?
No.
What if you were going to go out perch fishing tomorrow? What kind of bait would you be using?
You're going to use an artificial jig with a lead head, 1/16 or 1/32. And most people are trolling open water for them.
Interesting.
Really? We should go. When did you say that tournament was?
That's in February.
February.
Want to do it?
We don't have anything seasonal happening here. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's manatee season.
That's your side.
Well, here, I think we've got the rod for perch. Let me see if Captain Bryn here, Bryn approves. So this is kind of what I'm thinking we're gonna bring with us. Too big, too small.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, perfect. I like her. So once you get there, you said you're only a few minutes from downtown Deland, correct? Or how long or how far away did you say?
Yeah, like 10 minutes from downtown Deland, and Deland's got breweries and restaurants and shopping, so there's something to do for everybody.
So family or bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, sounds like it's meant for everybody. What time of the year, if somebody wants to go there and specifically target largemouth bass, those 15-pounders, but what time of the year would you recommend going to stay at your camp and doing some of that fishing?
So if you want a trophy bass, you want to hit pre-spawn, and you want to hit, January, February, very early March, all depending on how the weather goes that year. But you need to book, 6 months in advance to get in to get that time.
Nice.
Wow. And how would someone book over there at your place and get lodging? Is there a website you'd recommend going to?
Yeah, so you can check out our website. It's highlandparkfishcamp.com. But if you want to make a reservation, you're just going to have to call us over the phone. We're real old-fashioned. We just like to talk to you. We'll take all your information over the phone and answer your questions. That's just how we operate.
Love it.
Awesome.
So when it comes to that largemouth trophy size, you said depending on weather, are you looking for lack of cold fronts? You looking for those later cold fronts pushing in? What would the ideal weather be for that kind of fishing?
Yeah, so the cold fronts are definitely going to either push the spawn back, or if it's warmer, it could move the spawn up. So it depends on how the weather is coming later in the year for that new year. If it's real cold, it could push everything back. So typically you can't go wrong if you pick February. February is kind of busy around here, though, because we're in Washoe County, and we're close to Daytona Beach, and there's race week and all that kind of stuff too. So careful about that. But a safe bet would be February for the big bass.
Nice.
We just had a really good friend just get back from Volusia County for Daytona yesterday, and he was one of the ones that used to go spring breaking with Billy and I, and he said it's night and day difference from what he remembered from spring break to now, that it's really gotten just beautiful, family friendly,
nice,
beaches clean. I mean, everything's just beautiful about Volusia. So it's nice to know that we go stay at a place that we're used to, like this camp, but then go back to that beautiful beach. Yeah,
that's cool.
So
well, y'all come over and see us.
Yeah, absolutely, we will.
That will be in the game plan mighty soon.
Definitely will, and we're gonna bring our big Penn International here and try to get a 15-pound perch, and we're excited. Well, awesome. Well, Captain Bryn, thank you very much for joining us, and you will be seeing us. So larger bay boats, can we operate those in that lake? For that tournament you're talking about in February.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay. Just make sure we don't need to borrow somebody else's.
Yeah. Or bring the airboat and just piss everybody else on the lake.
Yeah, that'd be frowned upon.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to coming to see you in February.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for coming on board.
Too cool, man.
Pretty cool place.
It's like one of those things that the reason why we started New Waters, I'd never heard of that lake.
No. Hadn't a clue they would have even been there.
Everybody had heard of Daytona, but I think if you go to any major city across Florida and just go a little bit outside of it, you're going to find the true hidden gems, and that place is the true hidden gem.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Most people think of Deland as a drive-through county.
That's it.
Yeah, that one sounds like a worth a stay.
All right, well, that being said, let's go ahead and see if anyone had caught any freshwater species this week on the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week. Right there. That's the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week.
Yep.
There we go. There's a striped perch.
Striped perch.
There's what was that? Red speckled rim or something?
Red-breasted red.
Red-breasted red.
Speaking of red, Chris Dunning. Ooh.
Yeah, good catch, Mr. Dunning.
Oh, hey, look at there.
Hey, a little pickle. Very nice, Dale. Somebody's been playing freshwater life.
That was the
Missy King tournament.
Yeah,
Looking for habitat. Yeah.
I've heard great. I heard there was amazing success from that tournament once again.
Nice little
Doug.
snook.
Doug, my man, with a line striper.
So,
There we go. Look at that heart on the end of that redfish tail.
Doug again.
oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Well, there's a little bit of fresh water. Nice. I wish that was our kind of fresh water.
clown knife
Oh,
fish.
wow, the old knife. Good catch. That's cool. Yeah, that's a tree chicken.
Yeah.
Nice catch.
Tree chickens. I like it.
They are freshwater too.
Yeah.
Technically, yes. Yeah. Hey, nice, Mr. Quinn. Good looking red.
More redfish.
Very nice. Good size red. That one looks edible.
It's redfish season.
Yes, it
We're
is.
hunting redfish.
It's snook season.
Yeah.
Very nice snook, Jessica.
Jessica's killing it again.
He's always killing it.
Oh, yeah. Nice red.
Good red there, Joe. Getting out there on the kayak, putting it to work. Love it. Nice. Very nice. Playing up in Louisiana. Yeah, that's a stud of a red. Good catch.
Hey, Outfitters getting first place in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
They got
no kidding.
first in it?
Yeah, they got first place.
Get her done, fellas.
Second? How about them getting second?
Second place,
How about-
yeah. Yeah, that's one of mine. Look at that. Santos.
Very nice.
Red. Another one. Same day. We caught a bunch of big ones that day.
That's awesome.
that one.
Yeah,
Big
I'd say you did
tanker
catch
right
some
there.
big ones. Beautiful reds.
Which day was that, Mario?
Yep. I can't remember what day that was. I think
didn't
it was
know you knew how to fish.
Saturday? Friday.
Well,
It
he
was
says
Friday.
he catches the big ones one
Yeah.
day. Just trying to figure out which day
It was
of the week.
Watch your
Friday.
head, bro.
Same day. There's one of them
That was a
tigers
nice
we were talking
tiger.
about.
Oh, pretty tiger. Nice.
I can, yeah.
Matt Lanier
bad.
fished
Yeah.
on a boat.
Cheater.
Nice little red.
Yep. Big redfish. Spanny Mac.
Nice. Ramon Cruz getting them on them specs. That's a pretty red. Beautiful. Nice, Ron.
Redfish is the
That's
thing
a
to
pretty
do.
area up there. Very nice. Getting out there at Happy Place Adventures. Putting in the work. My goodness, look at the size of that trout he got.
Doing the duty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice. Getting out there in the backwaters of Ozello. Captain Travis Roberts putting it on him. All right, so that's the end of Catch of the Week. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the casting couch. See you guys shortly. Just less shiny.
Hey, we're on. Welcome to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. I'm Captain Marrio Castello, and we have our own Captain Gene Miller going to join us today. Hey, what's happening, man?
Glad to be here.
He's our freshwater guru, along with doing a lot of saltwater stuff, but today he's going to be talking freshwater.
Ditch pickles.
Ditch pickles, oh my
Hydrilla
God.
gorilla.
See, we don't know, all of us here don't know a whole lot about the freshwater stuff. Anything freshwater, we usually ask you anyway, so I'm glad you're here on the couch with us today.
I've seen you catch quite a few off the plantation walls.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I don't do that no more. It was back in a different lifetime.
Yeah.
But here to talk about some probably mostly bass fishing and maybe a little bit of wintertime speck fishing, something like that. Yeah, kind of what you use for baits. I would guess it's seasonal, just like what we have here for our saltwater stuff. You know, you catch bass different ways from month to month to month. I would
Correct.
assume it's
Yeah.
the same way. Let's talk a little bit about the bass fishing that we're doing right now. How's
Right now, Buzz Baits they're going to show one, the Boogerman Buzz Baits. I got a chance to try them out before my hard drive fried.
Oh.
I had some really good videos of them working. Buzz Baits are great search baits, any kind of topwater stuff like that. Right now, the hydrilla is getting really topped out everywhere.
Right.
So
because
you
of
really
the weather?
need,
Yeah, the weather's getting.
you really need
nice.
to like penetrate those holes.
Yeah.
Any kind of structure and cover is always good, but now with the sun, when the sun's out, they like to be really tight to cover. I mean, right next to stumps, right underneath logs, and your casting is everything.
Right.
Pitching, flipping, your accuracy is what's going to dictate your bites.
Right. Now you said you were working buzz baits. Now over these big hydrilla patches, will that buzz bait run right over the top of these patches?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Using that in the hydrilla, the buzz baits work better on a cloudy, overcast day. It's kind of like the Zara spook would be for reds and snook.
Okay, I got you. But you can work
when you have those
cover.
bluebird skies, the top water's not that good a bite because
Right.
they don't have eyelids either like
No,
a redfish. So
I get it.
They look for shade and cover.
Now, if you're fishing these hydrilla patches and stuff like that, what are you actually punching through? You said you're punching through. You don't do that with a buzz bait. You would do that
No,
with something
I'm using like a 1 ounce titanium or steel weight, tungsten weight,
Okay.
and creature baits.
Okay, I know what you're
Look
talking
similar to
about.
frogs.
Yep.
Little odd appendages and stuff sticking out of them.
A lot of
really well.
crazy action and stuff when they kind of punch through the holes
Their
and
little
they
legs
flutter.
and stuff will flutter down,
I got you.
work through.
Yep.
So using those an awful lot. Stick baits like Gary Yamamoto's, Sinkos, Yum Dingers, trick worms, stuff like that, just kind of free floating.
Right.
What I like to do in a lot of the hydrilla and around the pads is use a frog as a search bait.
You work
And a
that
lot
way.
of times you can work it kind of fast, and I like to work it slow. I'll even drag it from one pad to another pad, just trying to look like it's trying to escape something.
just natural, make it look like what it's normally going to do
Yeah.
in the wild.
And you'll get a lot of blow-ups on those topwater baits, and they won't actually get the bait. So I keep a stick bait or a floating bait rigged and ready by the side.
Ready
So
to
when they
throw.
blow up on it, then I'll throw that back right over where they splashed at, and it
I
looks
got
like
you.
something starts falling down through, and then they usually will commit to that.
All right, what are you using for your tackle? Like we'll just say your line size and for either punching through the cover or working the buzz baits or anything like that. What are you using?
My frog baits and buzz baits and stuff like that, where I'm really in the cover, I'll use 50 to 65 pound braid.
Okay, kind of like what we use for grouper.
Yeah, pretty
Smoke's
much.
no joke.
On the small reels, those reels, most of them, the drag on most of those reels are 12 to 18 pounds.
Right.
Is all the drag you had. But when you pull the big fish out of that hydrilla and stuff, your whole net will be full.
Right.
Besides the fish in it.
That
So
line
just
that
bringing
it's
everything
got
back in.
it has to be strong to be able to cut through some of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that I get it now. Yeah, I never knew why these guys are using the 65 and 50 pound test and they're catching 4, 5, 6 pound fish. I never knew why they do that, but
Yeah.
they got to cut through.
A
all
three
that
pound
cover.
a 3 pound bass or 4 pound bass, you'll have like 10 pounds of shit in the net.
So I can
Yeah,
literally
I can
use
see.
my Bubba Grouper rod to go chase bass.
You can use the line at
Yeah.
least, right?
There's
There's some guys that'll use like the 30 weights pins for shiner fishing.
Wow.
Now, not to cut you guys off, but we do have Gene on the tackle table talk as well here in a little bit.
Okay.
So, let's save this tackle stuff for the tackle table. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would just get GPS coordinates, Marrio over his bass and that sort of stuff.
All right. Now,
I have got a question. What's the difference between big lake fishing and pond fishing? I know in Citrus County we have 1,000 little ponds. How can you fish one versus the other?
They both fish pretty much the same, other than you get kicked out of the local little ponds anymore. I think both my sons have all been kicked off a very little body of water around here. You fish them pretty much the same. It's all about the vegetation. If you go to Lake Weir, it's not going to have the grass like Lake Russo. It's more of an open water, so you're using flashier baits, spinner baits, stuff that's got a little bit more flash to it.
Now, are you strictly artificial, or do you use live baits too?
If somebody wants a guaranteed over 10-pound bass, I'm going to use shiners.
Wild shiners or farm raised?
Wild, 100%.
Because wild are pretty expensive. I think they're like
the last time I got
$30 a buzz.
Yeah, $28 a dozen. The last time I bought some.
Good.
Holy smokes!
And they are very fickle.
Yeah.
And we only charge $6 a dozen for wild shrimp.
Yeah, they will literally die within an hour.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awful.
I found that the mud minnows, if you get big ones, will work better than the domestic shiners.
Interesting.
Mud minnows.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, here's another question.
That's a little
Is there a
tip.
difference between lake pond fishing and river fishing? Like if you're fishing with Lacucci versus Lake Russo?
Yes. The more current there is, the tighter they'll be to the structure.
So how would you fish in the river?
Moving baits, I like crawdads, crankbaits, stuff like that. I'll work those in the moving water, getting those fish that want to come out and attack them. When I'm fishing the river with soft plastics and casting baits, I'll actually hit the stumps. If you throw 2 foot in front of a tree, you're probably not going to get a bite. You actually want to hit the wood, the stump, or whatever you're throwing at, and
They are that close to the
looking
structure.
like it's coming right down to them.
Accuracy is key. Yeah. It's very
The
simple.
hydrilla and stuff, when it gets really hot, you pretty much got to drop that weight on their head.
And you said
It's
you're
kinda like
using
the
1
river.
ounce weight even in the river?
I'll use an eighth or a quarter if I'm casting, and when I'm punching through the weights and stuff, I'll go to an ounce and a quarter.
It's heavyweight. You
That's
gotta get
heavy
through all that
tackle.
stuff. Yeah.
It's got to pull it through.
It's gotta
pull
go
that
through the bushes,
That grass and hydrilla is so mangled up. It's got to pull that bait through those.
Yeah. It's sticky. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real sticky. So you got to push all the way through it.
That's why I brought the lid with me to show you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So the controversial side, do you like to eat largemouth or no?
No.
Right there with you. One of the best ones I've ever eaten, but I don't feel right doing it.
Crappie is a different story.
Yeah.
I like to eat crappie. Freshwater catfish is a whole lot better than the sail cats,
Yeah, for
eating
sure.
wise. But grew up with my parents had a resort in Arkansas in the Ozarks, so it was conservation in bass has always been a really big thing to keep it growing.
Now, is there a difference from land fishing versus boat fishing? Because, Lake Russo's got all those piers out there.
No, they
The biggest difference is one you fish from the boat, the other one you fish from land.
Ha, Gary.
Simple.
when
Glad
you're
he
on
doesn't have a
land,
mic.
you cast out.
Yeah.
When you're on the boat, you cast in.
All right. well,
Not a whole lot of difference.
now, where you're fishing mostly like Lake Russo and Salapaca, maybe.
Russo, Henderson, Aquabaja is really good over in Ocala. During the spawn, I like to go up to Salt Springs.
Okay, so you're not just here in Citrus County. You're basically going wherever.
I'll go
Yeah.
about anywhere.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, wherever the bite's hot, right? Yeah, I like that.
Especially like during the winter when the crappie's biting. You get all over the place
Gotcha.
during that time.
Yeah. Speaking of wintertime fishing for these bass, what changes? How do you change up?
I do a lot more sight fishing during the winter months. There's a lot of people don't like bed fishing, but if you want to win tournaments or get those really big fish,
Right.
you pretty much have to commit to pulling them off the beds,
Right.
getting them. So it's a lot more. They'll be in a lot more shallow before when they're moving in shallow. they're going to be on those deeper edges, feeding up, and then they'll come in about 3 days before the moon's full, until about 3 days after the big females. You'll get a lot of little bucks and males running around all during that time.
Right.
But the big females and stuff come in pretty much in that like 6 day window.
Right. Yeah, I hear the bed fishing you're going to catch a lot of the bigger fish in the wintertime, like in the February, early March, maybe
Correct.
late January.
Yeah. I didn't get to hear the talk, but I'm assuming that's about what she was saying.
Yeah, I guess that would be statewide, around just about everywhere in the States.
I'll start in the springs in the winter, just because of the water temp. It's more of a moon cycle than anything, but the water temp would be second.
Gotcha.
So I'll start in the springs like Salt Springs, the Rainbow River, then I'll move into the rivers, and then you'll have them like the following moon, they'll be out on the lakes.
Right. Now your crappie fishing, does that usually starts firing up in like December, January?
Yes.
Yeah. And it
all
goes
during the
on
winter.
Through the winter.
Get yourself forward-facing sonar.
Really?
That's some cheating stuff right there.
Yeah.
If you really want to get them, otherwise drifting minnows, little hair jigs, stuff like that.
Right.
Have you
Deeper
ever
edges.
attempted using the little grass shrimp that are in some of the freshwater lakes? Okay.
Yeah, we use those for bluegill, for crappie, stuff like that too.
That's why I asked Captain on there, and she's just getting. I'm like, the only time I ever did it, that's what we did. Went and netted our own and shrimped them up.
We'll even use peas
Peas.
for tilapia.
Interesting. That's why they won't bite on the golf course.
Yeah. I've never heard of anyone catching on hook and line. Everybody I know shoots them.
Shoot them. When they're guarding their beds, they'll actually hit crankbaits and stuff like that.
Really?
Because they're
Oh,
just so
'cause they're
aggressive.
territorial, yeah.
Yeah, they're not actually eating it. They're just trying to get the bait off the mill.
They don't have
like foul
hands
hook.
or thumbs, so they can't punch you.
Kind of headbutt you.
Yeah.
So when it comes through on the navigation side, I know we play in some mighty treacherous waters here as far as the shallow rock beds, oysters, and all that fun stuff. But when it comes to like old Stump Lake Russo, how do you work your way through that?
I have
safely?
I lose about
rails.
4 clients a year.
Really?
Fall overboard.
Oh no.
We'll be trolling through. The water's murky. You're moving 1.5 miles an hour or so, and you'll bump into a stump, and they're setting up next to the gunnel, and next thing you know,
It's inevitable.
they're
Inevitable.
fall
yeah.
over. Yeah, that is very dangerous. I've been fishing Russo for 40 years probably, and 3 times I've been high-sided on stumps out there. The last time was last year. Stuck in 13 foot of water, hole all the way through the boat.
Oh joy.
Probably going forward, reverse. The
Right.
boat's just spinning around, and when you finally get somebody to pull you off, you could hear the whole underside. That's where I got really good at the fiberglass work.
I thought it was funny because I remember you called me on that scenario, and then Captain Matt called me on the scenario a week later, same lake, with a Carolina skiff that punctured a hole through the hull. And that's why I asked, like, is there an easy way to maneuver those kinds of waters? I guess there's just not.
No.
V-hull?
When I ran a Ranger, it would actually hit the stump, and it would just
Roll off the
roll
side?
off and come down. Some of those logs, though, those stumps, I've been stuck on one. The damn thing was probably 8 foot across.
Wow.
I was stuck in the middle of it, and 3 foot on this side of the boat, you could see an edge, and 3 foot on that side of the boat, you could see an edge. And the whole boat's just sitting there.
I couldn't imagine that.
We're in like 9 foot of water. You got gators swimming around, and that was lucky enough that we had something we could actually stand on. So we actually got out and stood on the stump on both sides and pulled the boat off of it.
Slide your way through it.
Hey, Gene, what's your thoughts on sabiki rigs for specs?
Oh. That could be interesting.
I suppose it could work.
That maybe have to something.
I don't like sabiki rigs for pinfish.
Pain in the rear. Yeah. They're 100% a pain in the rear, but they do work when it comes to pinfish. I can only imagine the spec side.
Now, I do know, I haven't tried them for specs, but I have used them for bluegill off the dock.
All right.
That would
And
make
the
sense.
bluegill works great for bait too, and
Yeah.
it's not near as expensive as the shiners are. Not quite as effective, but it does work really good.
We used them up in Georgia.
Bluegills for bass.
Yeah. We had a hunting camp
Stunt
up
knockers, warmouth, they're
Yeah.
all,
Same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, we had
It's a
hunt-
mixing pot. I think they're all just They're all just panfish.
Sunfish, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a hunt camp up in Cordial, Georgia, and we used live bluegills for the big flathead, the flathead catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big giant flathead catfish.
Oh, yeah.
But we use a hand-sized live bluegill for those things, and they love it.
They are big.
It's been almost 30 years since I've been up there, so a long time. We catch those big 50, 60 pounders up there.
What kind of catfish are you catching in our lakes? Like yellow belly or blue cats? Like
mostly yellow belly.
Yellow belly?
Yeah.
I remember catching those with my grandmother in the springs in Crystal River.
Yeah, we use. I use if I have any venison left over. That's one of my favorite catfish baits.
Interesting. Venison
does work really well.
There you go, guys. Next time you guys go for deer season, keep your scraps.
Yeah, definitely. Don't grind it up.
Yeah.
Well, we do get a lot of catfish while we're flipping around the stumps and stuff too, though. Just
Really?
on the artificial,
They-
just kind of surprise you.
Like worms and stuff like that. Oh, I'll be darned.
What's the,
Crawdads work really well. I punched with those a lot. Crawdad imitation baits.
what's the largest largemouth to date?
17.2
Pounds? Jeez, criminy.
on the width coochie. I've only caught 3 over 15 in my life.
I mean, that's like a 3-gallon bucket mouth.
Yeah, that's huge. That's like a 55-gallon barrel.
I caught that up by Misty's house.
No kidding.
Just up,
Now, how does a
Hard to
bass
know.
fight compared to, say, we'll just go easy redfish?
Kind of like a snook.
they're closer to a redfish than a grouper. I mean, when they get really big, it's just they're a lot slower. But a 3-4 pound bass is like a 22-inch redfish.
Yeah.
I mean, they have an awful lot of power when they're smaller.
But the bass jump. Redfish don't
Yeah,
often jump.
they're really similar to a snook.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of tail walking, a lot of splashing,
I got you. Yeah, because
and you can actually lift them.
we actually had a redfish jump a couple days ago, which is
Oh, yeah?
I see it maybe 3 or 4 times a year that actually come out of the water and do a backflip.
Oh, wow.
Which is really crazy. Yeah.
That is rare.
Oh, that's wild.
But yeah, bass like to jump, so that's good.
That's awesome.
All right, Gene. Well, how can we get a hold of you to maybe book a freshwater or a saltwater trip? Either way,
Captain Gene Miller.
just Google
Is
it.
about that anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
CaptainGeneMiller.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Of course, I've joined in the modern ranks.
Yeah,
TikTokers.
TikTok. I did the same thing. I joined TikTok a couple
Instagram,
days ago.
anything like that.
Captain
All right.
Gene Miller.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Gene. Yeah, we always fish right next to each other in the saltwater. Maybe one day we'll fish
Oh,
in
we
the
have to do
freshwater
it.
too.
We'll have to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, got to do it. We're going to go back to a commercial break, and we'll come right back.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night. Sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour toward the light. Sabalitos. And in the morning when the sun does come, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
I don't know where it's at.
I don't either. I think it's downstairs.
The Magnum Boogerman.
Oh,
Woohoo!
you're downstairs?
I don't know. That's what he's asking.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. So welcome to the Tackle Table Talk, presented by Nature Coast Financial Advisors. Bringing back on Captain Gene Miller, we're going to talk about a little bit of his freshwater side of life when it comes to the tackle section and all that fun stuff. But a really cool lure that we got our hands on that met the man at ICAST. His name is Josh. He is the owner of what is known as Boogerman Lures. How'd you feel about him?
I loved him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Works really great. Got a little, I like to trim mine down a little bit so you get that extra clacking
Okay.
coming off there. But Didn't get a chance to throw that one a whole lot because the low light conditions, this dark one just
Oh, I can imagine.
worked fantastic.
No,
Really nice silhouette.
He makes a few different sizes, and I was playing with what they call the Magnum series, which was his quarter or half ounce size. I think Captain Gary's bringing that one to me at the moment. It was pretty cool doing a little bit of research on it. For your highly aggressive freshwater side of life, they recommend to leave it at that 90. And for a high pressured area, you could actually bend these a little bit flatter. And I guess it doesn't give off such a hard flop at the top. Yep, and to be able to perform in those highly pressured areas, to be able to benefit on both sides of the fishing world, which is pretty cool.
Fantastic search bait.
Oh, there you
If
go.
you're like to cover a lot of water.
Hey,
find out
Billy.
where they're located.
You need to
Absolutely.
hold that bait like this so we can see it better. Perfect.
That a little more better? There it is. Whoop. Oh, I'm not good at this whole hand thing. Yep. But pretty sweet little lures. These were actually made all the way back into the 80s. It's one of the oldest founding spinner baits. No, what didn't call it a spinner? What did he call that thing?
Buzz bait.
Buzz bait. Yeah, that's the one. And then after the 2000s, there was a few years that it didn't end up being in production for the last owner who had passed. And Josh did everything in his power to be able to get this company, and he made it happen. And just to be able to retain the natural aspect of what it was all the way back into the 80s, which I thought was really cool.
That is nice.
I think they're up to like 26 colors into this size with many different your feather options and also your paddle colors.
I love seeing stuff coming
Absolutely.
back from. There you go.
Yeah, there's the Magnum size.
Just make sure you pinch the tip first before you open.
That's terrible. So you can see the half ounce size versus the like the quarter ounce, and it's pretty monstrous.
That is. It's got heavier wire too.
Yep. And talking to Josh, he said there's folks all the way up into the Swanee River that actually play towards the mouth of it and catching redfish on these things at the same time.
Okay.
Like you said, using them for a search bait, which I thought was pretty awesome. But pretty cool little bait to see still out there on the market.
I'm gonna have to try them for snook too.
Oh my
'Cause I know
goodness.
that the plastic frogs are working really good for the snook as well.
Interesting.
Now, Gene, didn't you say you didn't want to use that chartreuse one?
Just the conditions I had, the darker one just left a better silhouette.
Oh, I thought you told me it caught gators.
Okay. Yeah. Off the air. Yeah. The bright one. I don't know if it was the color or if it was the blade, but the gators were loving this, and it's an accidental catch. Weren't catching them on purpose, but
for the
I
record.
gotta tell you what, if you catch a 5-6 foot gator on a rod and reel, yeah, that's pretty damn fun.
Pretty damn fun.
I give extra points to people if they get the hook out too.
That's awesome.
Kind of like shark fishing.
That's awesome. And the other thing I liked about this, it's a Florida-based product nowadays. Originally, it was based out of Illinois. Now it is out of Brantford, Florida. Production of them are in Georgia, but he's hoping by July time of this year, he's going to have production in-house.
Probably be good for muskie and pike too.
I would imagine so. And that's what he said, is a lot of them are still getting sold back up into the Midwest and up into the northern areas, which is pretty cool. And he said he doesn't get to see a whole lot of the wholesale side as far as where they go, but some of the ones that are online, he's seen them go all the way up into Canada, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys carry this at like Sportsman's Wholesale or not, but I know Boogerman, they do have it at 44 Bait and Tackle, which is pretty cool if you wanted to pick
I know
them up
all the
locally.
guys from Sportsman that are watching, so
Yeah,
I recommend getting some of these in there.
pretty cool little bait.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So what kind of, outside of these, what were you using these past couple of days? I know you were talking about some heavy lines, which is something that I did not expect.
And long sticks.
That's for that accurate
Yeah,
casting.
speaking of long
Don't
sticks.
forget about the garlic wings.
Oh, I smell it.
Yeah, you got to have the lube when you got a long stick.
That is the most potent garlic smell you will ever smell right there.
I don't know how well they can see this.
It smells delicious.
A lot of creature baits. This is
The creature features.
just a flipping hook. Really locks them on there.
I
You can
notice.
see the pegs.
Oh,
Here that
nice.
holds your bait. Very thick.
Yeah.
Bend that hook out. I mean, you could use this for grouper if you wanted.
Well, you don't see that style of peg so much on our jig heads. Is that thing held hard?
That would hold everything.
You aren't joking. Do you?
3/4 ounce weight, tungsten weight. And I do, when I'm flipping, I like to use the bobber stoppers to peg the weight.
Is that something you actually add to it? Bobber stopper?
Yeah. You put that on the line first before you put the hook on.
Freshwater stuff.
That
Things you
keeps-
just never know.
That way, when the weight goes down, everything goes down with it. When you don't have the bobber stopper, the weight goes down, your bait may hang on the top of the lily pad or up in the hydrilla. This is going to keep everything as one.
Without
tight
actually
package.
having to tie your weight into the line.
Correct.
That's
So-
pretty slick.
So when you're flipping into little holes and pockets this big, everything is compact. I mean, I could throw it, hit Marrio in the crotch.
It falls
Here,
as
if I could get my rod
one
up
unit.
here. Yeah.
That's pretty slick. I did not know that was even a thing, to be honest with you. The bobber
Something else I
stopper.
do. This is 65-pound braid. If you look at the last bit of it, I've taken a Sharpie marker,
Oh, you kind of camouflaged it.
color that. So when that goes down in through the hydrilla, it disappears.
Yeah, pretty slick.
It makes it all really,
Those little tricks and techniques will get you a lot further than you expect.
yeah. But heavy rod, like I said, this is only
65 pounds.
about 20 pounds of drag on this reel, but 65-pound line, so that you can bring all that grass and
Yeah, not
everything
having
else
to worry
cut
about
through the
losing
pads
it.
and stuff. And once you've got them hooked with that thick of a hook, you're not going to straighten that hook out
No.
or anything.
Tie it off to the
That
boat
gets
and
in there
drive.
pretty good. Something I use a lot too. Good old spinner baits. I know you gave me a bunch of these.
Did I already give you the box? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
That way you
I
can't
thought
find
I lost them in my garage somewhere. Well, I'm happy you got them.
But I did this on the buzz bait also, is adding a trailer hook.
Oh,
Basically what you
interesting.
got is a little piece of surgical tubing to keep the hook from coming off.
Nice.
So when you get the short striking fish thing, and it still stays flexible, so when you bump a stump or a log, that hook's not going to hang up or anything, so you can really get it through cover really well.
That's pretty slick.
See that all right?
The trailing hook.
Yeah. That'll help you. Most of my baits, I write what I'm using.
Oh, there you go. That way you can just look at it
online.
and just
Yeah.
know.
My top waters and stuff, I like mono. Most of my other baits, I like fluorocarbon. It just casts easier for me.
Yeah, be able to get that further distance
Yeah.
for that accuracy.
So it's like a 15-pound line.
Pretty slick.
You know, you can always tell when somebody's really passionate about something. Gene is probably one of the most prepared captains to talk about freshwater fishing.
Oh, 100%. He's got
Or
9 rods with
fishing in
us
general,
all set
you know.
flawlessly.
Billy, you talk about your truck every other day. Gary talks about football every day.
Every hour.
Gene, this is your moment, brother.
This is my passion. My dad was one of the first bass anglers. He was the last world champion for Project Sports in the early 70s.
That's pretty sweet.
So I got to grow up. I grew up with Bill Dance, watched the Ragin' Cajun, fishing. I traveled all over the country for like 13 years with him.
That's awesome.
I was
True
his
heritage
practice partner.
freshwater fishing.
So that's why I always like to see Brody hanging around the dock, driving the boats, doing the stuff.
Yeah, you know where he's coming from and where he's heading.
Yeah. This smells like Olive Garden, I heard. Yeah.
Oh, it is the most garlicky stuff you'll ever put up your nostrils.
I do use a lot of Procure, stuff like that when I'm red fishing, but with the bass fishing, it's not just about the scent. It does help them hold longer, but it's about lubrication. It really makes the baits slide through the grass and through the pads and stuff a lot easier.
That
That's
makes
what she
total
said.
sense. Okay, okay. I was wondering what you were lubing out there.
Now this is, to get the most bites out of freshwater, I use this setup, and a lot of guys don't. but it's a live bait hook. And it has the barbs on it.
Okay, yeah, the very tiny little ones, yep.
So when you rig that on there, it holds it on there better. But I leave my hook exposed.
Instead of turning it back and going
Instead
weedless.
of coming in and making it weedless. When you get those light striking fish, they will hit that and just hook up automatically.
Gives
You
an
don't have to worry
ultimately a
about setting
better
the hook
chance
on or anything.
for an instant hookup.
Yeah.
Clean. I'm sure it makes it kind of a pain to actually play through the grass beds, but I bet on that instant hookup, it makes it all worth it.
So I got a quick question, Billy. When are you going to slick your hair back like Gene?
Soon as it grows in.
Looks pretty slick.
Technically, it's slicker.
Yeah, I did cut about a foot off mine in the last few months. Everybody else shaved their beard. I cut my hair. But this is actually the fish slayer. Is your drop shot rig. And I'm using this on redfish. I'm using this on trout.
Interesting.
A little bit of everything. So you basically, the weight's gonna be here. That's gonna be here.
You got your line about a third to a half of the way up the leader.
About how far my vegetation is or about where the fish are sitting. And what you're doing is you're just shaking the line.
Interesting.
So that'll,
You can just see the hook right there in the middle of it there. Pretty cool.
and after you tie the hook on, you take the line, your tag in, and pull it down through the hole.
Gotcha, and that's where you tie your...
So that keeps your hook tip straight up.
Beautiful.
And you don't have to get all expensive. This is just a regular casting weight. And a lot of times I will just tie like a square knot on this.
Nice. So
If
is
I'm
that
fishing
like
heavy
a
cover.
1/4 ounce, 3/8?
That's a 1/4 ounce.
1/4 ounce, yep.
Just enough to keep it in the current. If you're in the river, dragging it slowly across there. And this is great for bluegill
Brilliant.
and stuff too.
Now that's a really tiny hook you have on that.
Yeah, this is number 2.
Yeah, are you putting like a little, like a Senko or a small tiny bait on that?
Yes, you can use, yeah, I think I got one here.
So you had a question, John?
I like the smaller ones on the drop shot. This is just like a finesse worm. You want to put the flat side down. That'll give, when it's going through the water, give off more vegetation. That's going to hang up just like that.
That's pretty slick.
And then that flat bottom on the worm is going to make it glide and give it more action. Good thing about all of my soft plastics though, I don't know if you guys know much about with the bass fishing, but a lot of times you'll get the
Half bite?
little peckers and stuff like that. If you take that piece,
Do a smaller?
now you've got a bluegill and brim bait.
There you go. So it just got turned around and switched gears from one species to the next.
Yeah, you're all set to go.
That's flawless.
I use this a lot with the kids, those little bluegill and stuff. It's still got some action, still got scent and flavor on it.
That's awesome.
Cut it right on.
That's awesome, Gene. Love it.
I do have one final question for Gene. What kind of hook would you use for a shiner?
This one right here.
Found it. So hold it. It's a little guy.
It's just like a wide gap kale hook.
I don't know if you can still see
on you?
it. There it is. There's the idea.
Who makes that hook?
Who makes that hook?
This is Gamakatsu.
Gamakatsu. One of the sharpest ones out there. Gamakatsu.
Well, good deal. Well, I tell you what, Captain Gene, killing it all as always, freshwater and saltwater. CaptainGeneMiller.com.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So make sure you book that trip with Captain Gene
That way you
Miller.
can't forget the name.
That's it. I like it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into tonight's secret question for your chance to win a set of Boogerman lures, which Billy and Jim were talking about a little bit ago. So tonight's question, and the first 12 people to answer it correctly is going to be added to the Extreme Decalz Reel of Fortune. So tonight's question is, Let's see here. What town is Highland Park Fish Camp located in? What town is Highland Park Fish Camp located in? I hope you were paying attention when we were talking about that awesome little getaway over there. Really excited to go fish that tournament in February and go see everything they have to offer. So again, the first 12 people to answer it correctly is going to get added to the Extreme Decalz Reel of Fortune. Yeah, stay tuned. Do we have another commercial or no commercial? No commercial. So Marrio is just going to kind of BS a little bit.
So be quick.
Maybe a little bit. A little song and dance. Don't have a mic.
All right. So let's see. Need to put some more commercials up here. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Ayinde Matthews, taking care of the State Farm casting couch over there. And then Nature Coast Financial Advisors on the Tackle Table Talk Power Pole, Abyss Batteries. I mean, Extreme Decalz, you can't even say enough about, but all of these businesses. So thank you guys very much for supporting Fish Talk Live. We're getting down to the final 12 answers right now. We've got them. John says we have all 12. Billy and Gene, or Gene and Marrio, somebody go over there, spin the hell out of that reel. Let's see who's going to win some Boogermans. Genius name. It's a name.
Got a pair of boogies for you guys.
It's a name that you'll never forget.
It's in the genes. It's in the gene, fish in the gene.
It's in the genes. All right, Gene, so the name of the game, we have 12 people that answered the question correctly. We have 12 sponsors on the board. I want you to spin the dickens out of it.
Spin it like I mean it?
That's it. Let's see who wins what. I'm going to go for better. Green foam decking for me. That's a good spin. Oh, power pole. That is on the power pole side of life right there.
So 8 down.
Who's in control?
Jerry Rose. Jerry Rose.
Jerry Rose.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Jerry. Tell you
He
what.
won my fishing rod at the seminar, too.
Oh, man.
Well, you
Jerry.
got some Boogermans to go with them.
There we go. Good deal. Well, thank you guys for watching. We are taking a break next week, but Mario's not, because he's got a seminar at Cedar River Seafood. What time now, Marrio?
It's let me get close to your mic. It's at 7 o'clock at Cedar River Seafood, and we're going to have Captain Lisa Fitzgerald.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good deal.
She's going to be signing people up for the tournament that actually starts this weekend. All the late ones don't sign up early enough, so but the tournament lasts for 3 months. So she's going to be there signing up and talking about fishing.
Tell you what, it's one of the most fun events that happens in person here. And, I mean, great giveaways, amazing food, great service.
Shrimp tacos are to die for.
I got one last question for you, captains. George Quinn wants to know, where's the snook? You guys have a snook update.
Outer Keys.
Yeah.
I mean, the Outer Keys are loaded with snook.
We see quite a few of them.
As soon as the second day of the month hit, they were everywhere. I mean, all over every point.
Well, there you go, George.
Good question, George.
Thank you, George.
All right. So, yep, go check out Captain Marrio at Cedar River Seafood in Crystal River next Tuesday at 2 p.m., and we will see you in 2 Tuesdays from now. So, what time did I say?
Yeah,
7 p.m.
7, yeah.
7 p.m.
Get there early.
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. All right. See you guys soon. Thank you.